529.
Do you want to check? 279. Sorry, 279. 240. 9, 10. Yeah, 9 and 1 is 10. It's 240. I know. That's right. Oh. 230. You're right.
Okay, super. Thanks for checking. Thanks for checking. Hello. Hi, nice to see you. That's yours? Oh, we're on streaming, right? Yeah, we are. Oh, that's mine, good.
Sorry. This is ridiculous. Why don't I have to get up and say
Let's get some water.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's the UK main event here. This is a game from the place of the lunch break. My name's Colin Northmore. I'm commentating remotely from Sunderland, northeast England. I have played at least one or two of each of the last 3 years' UK Open events, but I can't make it this year. But commentating is not a bad substitute.
How do you pronounce it?
So this is game 4. It's between Ed Martin, who is the current EU national champion, and Ed lives in Sweden and flies over now and again for Scrabble, cricket, family and friends, I believe. I met him in Middlesbrough at a tournament in about May this year, and he beat me by 1 point. His opponent is Jack, who is a Nigerian gentleman who I met and played twice at the World Championships in Torquay. Last time I looked at the 2 games he's been played, Ed Martin was in second position of the 30 people in Division A, the Open Division, and Ed had won both. I'll keep checking the tape to see if there's any updates to see Ed's undefeated.
No, you're alright. Just come and see me if you lose your scorecard.
Yes, it's still just updated to two games. When I was in chat before, I can't see chat at the moment. I'm just on a screen just showing the board and nothing else. Zeph Kaufman from Canada was asking how many games there are. There's 6 games until dinner time. Game stream. All the rest of the A games being commentated on. If there are commentators available, which could mean results also, you just have to get in touch with Craig and be willing to commentate via Skype. You just have to provide Craig with your Skype address. I'm happy to do a few games, but it's only fair others have the chance to. I don't want to hog the airwaves, so to speak. I'll try my best to see the best plays. I'm a decent player, but not perfect. Anyway, Jack's starting and put down Garth, which I'm not sure is good. I don't know if we'll see a challenge from Ed or if it's just a word I'm not over familiar with. My guess is it's not a word, could be wrong. No, there's no 7-letter word with the last set of letters, so I was correct, and Ed hasn't challenged it all. I was going to say I can hear tiles rapping, but there's a table full of rap. There's not necessarily 2 pairs of bag. So it's Ed's turn after challenging off the non-word golf. Ed will be not wanting to provide Jack with a floater. Obviously, a knee would make gathered, a no would make goat herd, I believe, and believe it will be good. And I believe, but Ed only has 1 vowel in his rack. I believe with an A it could be Graithed, Graithed, and Ed will be aware of that when he's making his play. So it's possible that because of that, Ed may change and keep RIT. That's my guessing. My current experience is 173, and I believe Ed's is about 183. So hopefully we think relatively similar, even though I haven't got a national champion accolade to my name at the moment. I've just looked on Ziva, and all vowels besides A go with Jack's rack to make an 8. A U makes daughter, and as I thought, the A makes graithed, which is a Scottish verb meaning to dress. I believe it showed there was 1 consonant went to make an 8. That's what I believe it was an N. I can't recall what the word was. It's thronged, which is Scottish for to throng. Well, it must have changed, and Jack has played a 5-letter word, Garth. Sorry, Garth, keeping E with H on the double-letter word. So that's 8 to 10, 26 points, I believe. Be interesting to see what Ed's picked up. I'm guessing he kept RIT. And playing through the A could be handy. It looks like he's kept RIT and picked up J, a duplicate I, U, and a blank. If he had 2 T's rather than 2 I's, I think Juttier. Good. But this rack's looking slightly awkward at first glance. He's got the he may, unless he spots something that I'm not seeing, just play above and below the A of Garth for JAI to balance his rack a little. He could possibly play a double-double Juttier through the T of Garth, which would be good points, but would be utilising his blank. 8, 9, 11, 12, 13. That would be 52 points, so it's definitely worth considering. I've just double checked, I was pretty sure Juttier is good, so as this playing through the T of Garth would be 52 points. It's in Ed's keeping in. If you just played, say, JAI, the 90 points, and the rule of thumb is to play LeBlanc if you can score 26 or more points more than your best move, not using LeBlanc. And in this case, unless Ed has seen a superior play to what I've mentioned, Jutia would be 33 points more than JAI, so I'd say it is worth playing, in my opinion. In the opinion of grandmasters, etc., who write these books and evaluation, etc. Now, Ed's thinking long and hard by the look of it, and Jack's picked up, to go with his ED, he's picked up Bars, VASE plus a second A. Yeah, it was worth considering, taking some time, but Ed's played what I guess of Jutia for, I believe, 52 points, 13 times 4. It is the best play. Second best was Jut for 25. I can't see where that was played with Jut. It must have been either above or below Garth, the G and A of Garth. And I could have kept a bit of an awkward rack lever, RII blank. I think some people would tut at not using the blank for a bonus, but that's a bit simplistic, to be honest. So Jack had duplicate A's and E's and a nasty V, so he's paid off VAE, keeping DASE, which is a nice strong lead. Obviously a U goes before VAE, whoever gets it. Showing Ed with a rack leave of A, as I thought it was an I, unless it was incorrect the first time round. So Ed apparently has AEEIRMV. Don't know if I'm missing a bonus. I'm thinking things like Viremia, but I'd say that's got 2 I's rather than 2 E's. Jack seems to have picked it nicely with his ADES leave. He's picked up NOR. But for now, we'll concentrate on Ed's rack. Eventually, Ed could just play some VIA, making JA on the top. Yeah, I was right, there's no bonus, 7-letter bonus with these letters, and the only 8 would be with a floated T for a viameter, VIAMETER. There's 2 T's on the board, but they're somewhat hidden away. So, not placed. My guess is Ed's going to play VIA and JAA, but he's playing maybe. He's sort of cleared his rack quite a bit and kept ER, which is a decent lead, but Jack's got a strong lead and an S, which goes into the triple lane. Jack's rack is very strong, but there are no 7 letters or those letters. There's tons of 8s with floaters. One which sticks out straight away with available result is Anna. It's through maybe at the bottom of the board, but that doesn't make a double letter, so I believe there are 2 others with the same letters, Adonizer and Anodizer, I believe. So one of those would be preferable, seeing as they utilise the double letter word. And Jack's got to be careful not to. Yes, he's played Anodizer. Yeah, it's a nice play. Potentially, yeah, he's this side. Still, it's fine. He's given away a couple of hot spots by doing it. The A would be a triple letter score, and he's playing Androids. Same, but it's a few extra points. Like the O of Anodide, I don't know whichever one he was playing. The O would have been 1 below the double letter square, or the triple, so potentially his opponent, Ed in this case, could have scored big in response. So Ed has got Dozier with a Z plus an extra E. Again, if I miss any what I consider simple plays, I apologise, I am human. There's words like anagram Dozier is Dorize, which is a verb. D-O-R-I-Z-E, which is something like to act like one of the Dorians, whoever they may be. A simple play with just R-E-Z on the triple. This one now. Jack's picked up a blank, but he has got 5 vowels and some of them not the 5 consonants and some of them not the nicest, such as FH has got an A. But we'll concentrate on Ed's rack for a moment. Dolarize would be playable above Anodroids with D in left-hand triple lane, making ZA, which would be decent points. It obviously depends on players, in this case Ed's attitude to keeping putting a tile between a triple, but he might think that Jack's just played a bonus, so he's picked up 7 fresh tiles, so it's not like he's kept himself a strong building block. So Ed might think it's worth playing Dolarize in this case, or he may just play RE on the bottom triple, keeping pretty strong bracket of DORIE. Make a bonus next. Yeah, I'd have probably gone for the Dolarize. It's one of the 2 I did mention, and Ed has. It is a top play. Second was Dozer on the triple. The other one I said doesn't feature in the top 10 or 12 RZ. It was a pretty feeble suggestion, I think. Well, Zelpapel does. So Ed has got a 130 to 104 lead, 26 lead. It's Jack's turn. He has he's got flat, FLAT, HD blank. Ed's unfortunately picked up 3 eyes, which is not very helpful. Having only had a quick look at Jack's rack, I'd say he probably has not got a bonus. Just like maybe word with head in them. I'm certain whether flat head would be if those are floating A or E, which there's not. Simple play, I've just seen it float through the O door eyes, which would get the F on the triple letter word, so that would be 12, 13, 14, 32 points, which is a reasonable return. But we're keeping the D and H as well as the blank, and they're not the most sort of bonus prone tiles together. If there's people suggesting anything in the chat, I'm afraid I can't see the chat, but there's still a place available, and none of the players have got one for the U, the VAE above goal. I've just looked on to see below. There are 3 letter words. Jack's got plus 4. Flat head's the one which I mentioned earlier, but that would not be playable in this ball. The word with the floating O, the only vowel that is available for floater is hold fast, HOLDFAST, which is not playable on this board due to the position of the O. And with a floating E or U, there's death, full, DEATHFUL, which again is not playable on this board. So Jack's taken quite a while over this, playing rightfully so if he has got the time. Well, I seem to have plumped myself off float. Jack's played frat above the middle bottom triple through the R of aneroids, which I believe stands for college fraternity. That's utilising the double letter for the F and the triple word, so that's 33 points. Screen's a bit fuzzy. Craig's got the Quackle best plays up, but I couldn't quite see it. I'd have still gone for float myself, but I've been getting rid of the L as well, which isn't the best tile. To clear Jack's rack for a more probable bonus next time round. Ed's played quite quickly through the D of door eyes he played last time. He's got rid of 2 of his eyes, plus an O, plus an E, and played iodine, which is a pretty nice move when you've got 3 eyes on your rack. And he scores quite well for 2 4s. 21. Obviously, it's not the biggest score, but it's depends what you've got to play with at the end of the day. It seems to be a higher play Blood and Tobacco, as I say, it's a bit fuzzy on the screen. I couldn't see what the play was. So Ed's given himself a rack lead of SI, but picked up a bit awkward tile BC GUE. Ed is 14 ahead, and it is Jack's play. Jack kept HDL blank, picked up NPO. It's played quite quickly, POH, making JO and UH near the top. Just only haven't had a chance to have a quick look at Jack's tiles. I would not say there was a bonus available, though I could be wrong. Dolphin with a blank for an eye. Jack played rather quickly. If I was playing this tournament or any other, I'd take my time, especially if there's a potential of a bonus. Dolphin would have been playable just to the right and above of Iodine, making IN for 70 points. Jack's only scored 30, which is the third best move, and appears to be valued about 11 points inferior to Dolphin. Jack's had a nice pick-up and should bonus next move, and he has got a 6-point lead, I believe. I mentioned Ed's rack before being quite awkward, and he's played pretty quickly. GIB to the right of Jack's last play, making PI and job for a decent score, probably 25-30. And he keeps CUES, which has good potential for bonus, especially when there's a floating R from Door Eyes. Craig's just got the Quackle options of Ed's play wasn't in fact the best play. So obviously Big was available, but GIB would benefit from one more point from making a job rather than drop. So Ed has got a 12-point lead. Jack should bonus this time. He's got LDN, the I blank. There's probably numerous bonus here. With a blank for it's Indulge and Door Lines for 7. It may be safer to look for 8th through R of Door Eyes. No, potentially he's playable on the right hand side. I've just thought the anagram Door Lines and Windows is Sondela, SONDELA, and I believe that's probably going to come up as the best play. Play just the right GIB in the top right hand corner, making go pin and Joe. No, it doesn't make that. Sorry, it will make JOBD. That's Sondela would be played making jobs such as Indul's playable, attaching the say the S to the I of Iodine to make magnets. Through the hour of Door Eyes be such as Dis and Rob playable. Jack's played Eloined, using a blank for an E. The other E is on a triple letter square. He's changed his mind. He's played Idle under EG and EA. He's considered to be a safer move. It's about the 12th best move according to Quackle. The top was Eidolon on N5. Which is where Jack's got his fingers at the moment, who's making Job. He's going back to his aligned. We could be here for a while, possibly. Sometimes I do the same and show my opponents my titles inadvertently. And the second best player according to Quackle is Lodian. Couldn't quite read the grid references to where it was playable. Anyway, Jack settled for Eloined and has got a 61-point lead. Ed had a rack lead of CUES and has picked up FIN. He's had plenty of time to look at his rack while we've been looking at Jack's rack. Obviously things have changed now with Jack's play, and obviously the F would score nicely on the IF and the triple. Ed's played nice plays, played CUIFS with the F, double letter, and the triple with it, and making Jobs. Job is a verb meaning to reprimand tediously, apparently. It's basically the best move. As I say, the screen Craig's got up with Quackle is a little blurred with the best moves, but that's what I believe is. Jack's got a heavy scoring rack after his bonus QU8TBEX. He's played pretty quickly, quart through the Art of Door Eyes with a Q on a sorry, I don't know how many points it's for. It's 48. It's a double letter on a Q and double word, so it's 48. It's shown as the second best move with a E after it for 2 points more, one better with a rack lead of BX. I'm not so sure of that. There's not much in the valuation difference. Jack's got a healthy 54-point lead. It is Ed's turn. Ed has got PACK GEM. Hotspots are the triples. The triple word scores on the right hand side, both the middle and the bottom. I can't quickly see a 5-letter place starting with a vowel going down to the triple off the bottom right. Board's not the friendliest at the moment. There's a bit of a glare on the bottom left as well. Possibly Cask through the S of Aneroids, making A or C. Maybe a half decent play. I don't know if you can see anything I thought I'm missing out on. So obviously the P goes under ZA on the bottom of for zap. And the E could be played next to it. Make P-E-N-E and benefit from the E triples twice. I think I'd probably prefer Cask myself to the S of Aneroids.
That's it.
Ed's played the E on the court to make court with an E. I think it's possibly a fencing move, and ENG making Zag as well. It's basically the highest scoring move at. 32 points. Quackle had been suggesting that Jack in his last move had played an E on the end of court, and it could have been because of what's just happened to avoid giving away sort of relatively cheap points. So Jack is 22 points ahead after his ENG play for 32. Ed has a record of PACK, which potentially could be depending on what he picks up. Jack has got BEXYIUA. The bog standard play would be XU making UV and the sort of middle of the board, just above it. Jack's playing busy, it would appear, playing off the U, Y, and B. It's nice to play off. Making, through the S of Aneroids and making ARB in the same spot I was suggesting Cask last move. It's the second best move. The best move is the XU making UV, which I had said initially. Ed unfortunately hasn't picked up any vowels, so he's got, with his PACK, he's picked up NWT. None of his letters will particularly go well with the triple on the right hand side after the A. N's the only letter which goes after it. So a very weak play would be NAT, taking the triple. Otherwise, Ed would need a 5 or 6 letter word, either 5 letter beginning with A, to utilise the bottom right hand triple, which he's not going to get, or a 6 again, it's not going to be available. If Ed had a E, there's a alternative word for pansy is pawns. PAWNCE or PAUNCE. They're not available this time, unfortunately. So Ed's looking to score reasonably and clear a couple of the heavy consonants off his rack. Otherwise, he may decide to change. I wouldn't think he'd play NAT. He's played Yorp from the Y of busy. Playing off the WP, 24 points. With a rack with KC and T. Without having looked up Jack's racks, he's probably likely to take the triple. Not sure what he'll score. It was the second best move. EWT was the best from E on the book. Can't see which E it is. Never mind. So Jack has got 21 point lead, and he's got a vowel heavy rack EAAIOXS. Is there a nice play on the triple? Well, he's got a nice play on the mid right triple, such as, I've only looked quickly, SAXE going down, making is NAEXD, which would be a nice score. 10, 11, 12, 13, 39, 41, 42. I believe 53 points. SAXE, I believe it's colour, the blue colour is the definition. Alright, he's played an equally good play Expo through the P. That's 210, 42 points. He's got a rack leave of AAIS. My suggestion would have had 3 vowels left. My play came up as the top variation, and Quackle and Jack's play is second. Jack's got about a 63-point lead now. Ed's still got problems. He's only picked up 1 vowel again, but that was from a pickup of 3 tiles. Again, he's struggling to utilise the middle right triple. He's only got weak plays like net or tempo, which wouldn't do anything to develop his rack for the future. Possibly can play under AG in the middle, making age. What else can he play? Sorry, I've missed an obvious play. There's NY on the middle right triple, making IN and another NY, which would be 5, 6, 7, 21, 26 points, I believe. It's not brilliant, but I don't think there's a lot of alternatives unless I'm missing something. So back in October, 2 or 3 months ago, Ed won the national championships, beating Austin Shin in a playoff for the title. So it's on a good run of form.
16.
Ed's played TWE above the E end, making tween, which probably means between, just before teenage, I guess. I wouldn't think it's the most highly valued score, but it appears that Ed's only got 4 minutes left on his clock, and it couldn't take forever. So Ed gave himself a rack leave of KY and C. I think I'd still have preferred my NY. Right, it's Jack's play. He's got a pretty decent lead, but he's heavy with vowels. He was going to play pretty quickly there, AI, making QI, but he's picked it back up and probably decided it's a bit too open and to think again. It would have given Ed potential bonus plays, you know, obviously Jack not knowing what Ed has got on his rack. Seems to plays about 8th on Quackle's list. With AIA being the strongest, I think it probably is in the same position with A being above, but Jack must consider that his play sort of closed the board down a fair bit, whereas the AIA wouldn't. So Ed has picked up ORE, which is a welcome relief for him after having heavy constants on his rack for a long time and plenty of them. The board's quite close, which is suited Jack with a 56-point lead. There's U playable in 2 places, making U, they, and Quat. But if those, I don't know how many U's are left actually. There aren't any at all. Sorry, I've missed Ed's plays. Played Noi on the triple, where I suggested NY last time on the right hand triple. And Jack's quite quickly played Rose, ROSE, making Zags and Porter on the bottom left of the board, which will be probably 30-35 points. Well, I'm probably biased and probably want Ed to win. It's not looking like it's going to be the case. Seems Jack was it Loiters or Toilers? What was unplayable? Just RES was the top play according to Quackle, rather than Jack's Rose. The bag must be empty now. This is just showing 7 unseen tiles. Jack's got a lead of 63, and Ed hasn't got, unfortunately for him, winning tiles. He's got Clark, CLERK, plus a second L and an N. Unfortunately, I can't see him scoring high. There's no available spots to the boards. Board's pretty closed. Whereas Jack's picked up Mildest, which probably won't be playable, but Jack's probably benefited from nicer tiles during this game, but it happens, and Ed's just got to move on to the next game. The scores on the leaderboard have been updated from the game before lunch. Ed won the game before lunch by about 170 points against Rick Kennedy, which is a good result. So before this game, Ed is sitting in second place on 3-0, just behind Nigel Richards. I think Jack must have lost his game before lunch because he was in the top 20 on the leaderboard and isn't showing in the top 20 now. But will get himself back up there after a win here, a very likely one. So I've missed Ed's play with Tolkien, but I can see he's played E through the W of Europe and K. Looks like Jack has played ELM to the right of Tween, making ATE, AWL and EM, and has a 58-point lead. The players are a little behind schedule. Not just these two players, all players. The next game was supposed to start at 2:30, which was 2 minutes ago, but probably about 10 minutes behind schedule. So I'd estimate that after this game has finished, there'll be about 10 minutes to the next game. And you'll receive commentary either from myself, or if anybody else has offered to create commentary, then they probably will. The next game is between Steve Perry and Vince Boyle. If if people can remember, Vince did extremely well in this event, the UK Open last year. He was at some stage neck and neck with Nigel, I believe, eventually finishing second, but had a fantastic tournament. Ed has played clean through EA in the middle of the board, which is the second best play. It seems clear was better. The same points. There's little difference.
I got 370.
That was on TIDS and 50 point lead.
Right, yeah. Oh yeah, 152. 152. Okay, yeah, 425. 234. 81. 130. 151. 179. 234. 55.
All the Nigel lovers who'd like to see Nigel every game, he's on stream at 5:40 PM against Bob Violet. And Jeremy Koo's on stream at 4:40. Jeremy's about a second or third seed, rated a high 191, I believe. The game before dinner features Harshan Lambertsaria, who's a world champion runner-up to David Elbow in 2017. And the final game of the day is Austin Shin against Jeremy Koo at 9:45 PM. It should be a good one. I'm not sure whether this yes, the game's over. It says winner for 32 against Ella. ST was played, and then Ed played his two final tiles, L and R, somewhere. Oh yes, at the bottom of the board, making E, L and O on. So Jack from Najee is the winner of the stream game, 432 to 384, a winning margin of 48. And thanks for listening. And please join us for the next stream game between Vince Boyle and Steve. Bye for now.
You know, great.
Sorry?
Yeah, great that you have GRAI.
Yes.
GRAI.
Yeah, so I had I or E.
Yeah.
But then
So that, I only had one vowel, so I couldn't play anything on the first go. I thought you would get it. Davids.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that.
Right, please.
I'm sorry, mate. We really got hold of it. Can't have you. You've got to do material.
I was like, oh, well, that makes a change. Audio and it. I didn't realise this was.
Yeah, they've got a different system here. So you don't actually see the thing. Good, they want to find trim, I think.
Oh, right.
Hello again. This is Game 5 from the UK Open main event in Coventry.
Nice start.
I'm your commentator again, Colin Northmore, for the second game in a row. I'm not sure if anybody else has volunteered to do any commentary, but I'm willing to commentate as long as needed, within reason. This game's between Steve Perry and Vince Boyle. He is a recent ABSP chairman. And as I mentioned earlier in the last game, Vince finished second in last year's UK Open, running Nigel close and playing very well indeed. I think Vince rating went up to like 180 last year, but he's back down to 170, which is similar. The table wasn't completely up to date when I looked a minute ago, but after round 3, Vince was on 2 wins and 1 loss and was playing the bottom seed, so I'll have a look again to see if he won that, in case he would be on 3 wins. And Steve Perry was on 1 win and 2 losses after 3 games before the result was through from the last game. The results have just been updated from the last game. Both Steve and Vince did win, so Steve is on 2 wins and 2 losses, and Vince is on 3 wins. It's Steve to start. He's played RIZ, keeping HILD. This is the top play according to Quackle. It's taken A after it, which Vince got in his rack. Vince could possibly play JOUAL Jewel. I believe it's using it for something else, but it's got a funny old rack of LUTUA. Dual, the word I've suggested, JOUAL, is a dialect of French. Vince has played in the same place, but just ALU, maybe because the dual, the J would be next to the double word score. So Vince has given himself a rack leave of JOUT. Not sure what the best move according to Cocker was, but may have been one of the 2 of those. Alu was down there a bit. There was a dual, was a top play, mine 27 points, my suggested play. Whether Vince didn't see dual, wasn't sure enough of it, or thought it was dangerous with a J next to a double word swear. But it's not worth holding on to it for too long, especially when it's got another U on his rack. Steve's got heavy consonants. He's played milk with a rack leave of HMD, making owl. Probably wasn't anything significantly better than that. Oh dear, there was a 9. I think it says hind milk through the I in the middle square, which I don't know how many of us know that, but I wouldn't.
40 again.
Vince placed the other version of Joule, Joule, through the L of milk. He's done J in a position where Steve could benefit on the triple, but he can't actually because he's got no vowels. So Vince has a rack leave of WAT after that play. Probably was about as good as Vince could do, and the J is on the double letter, so that's 16, 18, 19, 40 points. Steve, after keeping 3 consonants, has now got 7. He's got H, N, 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 D, R, Y. I believe his rhymed good R, Y, and D. He's playing Henny through the I of Breezer, getting rid of duplicate ends and scoring, although not significantly. Vince had a rack leave of WAT and has picked up DLES. Floating the which would be talk nonsense, which would not apply to me, of course. There's no 7 with Vince's rack, and as I said, Twaddles is good with a D. The only other bonuses, 8-letter bonuses, are the R, O, and N, I believe it was. The N is wetlands, the R is wrastled, W-R-A-S-T-L-D, or warstled, W-A-R-S-T-L-E-D, being really sort of ancient words for wrestling, the boxing wrestling. There is an R on the board, but it's not in a suitable position to play. Vince may play something like Jaws, taking a triple, and score. Scoring 42 points, something superior. As I say, there's no 7s and there's no 8s available in this board either. There are 2 ends on the board for wetlands, but in the wrong spots. Potentially Vince could play something like Wasted and Duels, but the D being a triple A. W would go on. Well, I know this is a phony what Vince is trying, because I've just looked on Quackle to double check my suggestion of Twaddles with a D, and there's only bonuses with a N or an R besides a D, so Wasted D isn't good. Vince's clock's running whether he's... Sorry, Steve's clock's running whether he's held to decide whether to challenge or not. I'm not sure. The clock is still running. Whether they've challenged and forgot to press the clock, I'm not sure. I know why Steve's held, obviously, because he's got Sardina bonus and he's deciding whether he can play. He can play through the W for a triple and potentially a triple. So Vince has wasted the "is not" a valid word, but Steve has not challenged it. Steve's played Randy's making Jeweled. I'm not actually sure that a Jewel will take a D. Apologies, I'm wrong. Jewel is a verb to bump, so it does take the D. The board's a bit fuzzy for me, but it appears the scores are about even. Including, as I said, a phony that Vince has got away. Sort of fair enough trying it, but it is 5-point penalty for a challenge, but I'd say it was worth Steve risking losing that 5 points to challenge. It's Vince's go. He's got Rootage. I believe Rootage is good. Rootages. Yeah, Rootage is good, and it does take the S, so Rootages, which Vince is playing, is good. That's for nice points. It's 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 80 points, I believe. The only other letter which would go with Rootage for an 8 is an F for, you guessed it, foot gear. Vince has taken a 75-point lead. Steve has picked up after his bonus EEYCGO blank. I didn't believe there was any 7-letter bonuses with Steve's tiles. I've checked and there isn't, but there are 8s available with N or T. The bonus with a T, which is floating, is Ectogeny, which is beyond my word knowledge, and the T is in the wrong place anyway. Steve's played Goe, playing off his duplicate E, and, you know, not the best letters of GYO. It was a top play for 36 points, that's a nice play. So Vince has got a 39-point lead, and it is Vince's turn. They rack up MANRROU. It's a bit of a tricky decision what to do with this. Looks like Vince has taken the triple out of commission. He's playing Amor, meaning wolf. It's the top play, so nicely spotted Vince. It takes a lot of floaters, including the triple floater, out of play, as Vince couldn't particularly utilise the triple himself, so it's a wise move. Amour apparently is French for a love affair. Vince has a 73-point lead, 252 to 179. Steve's turn with duplicate vowels twice, 2 I's, 2 E's, DC, blank. Yeah, it's a very nice play. The blank's a D for Deus side, which means, I believe, means the killing of a god, a deity. It's the top play. There's other bingos were blank for an F for X. So Steve's caught up and taken a commanding 2-point lead. Vince has got a rack of F-R-O-N-D, frond, which is a word. It's a New Zealand unopened fern, which is seen on the Air New Zealand logo, I believe. So frond, A-V. A good score would be favour through the E of Deus side, F-A-V-E-R, with F on the triple. Vince has played favoured, which is the top play for 44 points. Nice suggestion of third, about 5 points worse. So it's nice, 44. It's left the F1 under the triple word, so potentially Steve could score highly back after that play. But Steve's rack's not the strongest, it's G-O-I-T-L-U-A. He's got such as Latigo, L-A-T-I-G-O, until he making O-F, which would score a decent number of points. Maybe more beneficial playing off the U if you can see a similar play utilising the U. I believe Latigo and OF would be 39 points, which is quite nice points. Vince has picked up the Q with 2 I's and an N which go together, but there are no U's left besides the one that Steve has on his rack. And if Steve doesn't take the triple at the top, then Vince is going to play QI or QIN in the spot and score quite highly, about 50 points. So if Steve just plays the shows Latigo, the game will be about level pegging with around 25 tiles left. And Vince with the QI. Steve's decided to play Jail, Gaol, in that same spot, so he's keeping UIT for 32. Whether Vince is going to just play the QI for face value, making GI for Jail at the top. Not sure. My Latigos was about 5th best. The best play was Agouti, which I agree with. I said if there was a similar play to mine utilising the U, it would be the best play. And Agouti was the one. And again, Agouti without the O. Vince has played BIN, making brandies and taking the bottom middle triple. It's the third best move. The best move was QIS6F. That's making shinny for 44 points. So Steve's got a 36-point deficit with 18 tiles in the bag. And a bit of an awkward rack with PAUA, which is a word. It's abalone, I believe, plus SIT. It would be nice if there's an 8-letter word through the N, but I really don't believe there is. There can't be a bonus with these because they're too awkward. I've got a bit of glare on the board, so it's not the easiest to see. And my weak suggestion is such as Packer PA through the C of D side A, but I wouldn't be overly happy with that. Scoring spots will be above and below wastedly. Possibly one of the better moves is UPA under wastedly, making U2 rep and DA. So Vince has got quite a bit of thinking time while Steve's making his play, and whether he sees the QIS making shinny this time for 44 points, we'll wait to see. So as I say, if Steve plays so UPA needs an S on it, so UPA wouldn't be any good. Apologies. Steve's in a bit of an awkward predicament, but like I say, the scores would have been totally different if Steve had challenged Vince's phony up the off earlier in the game. So Steve's played TAP, making TAW, ANA, and POS for about 27 points, I believe. It's a bit dangerous. He's put it close to the triple word. TAW takes an S before it for stall, but it's probably limited besides that what can be done. So the big moment here is if Vince sees this QIS and shinny, and he's had quite a bit of time to think about it, so hopefully he might see it. So Vince either hasn't seen it or isn't sure of shinny, so he's played QI and QI, which is second best move behind QIS and shinny. So Vince has got a pretty strong rack leave, SN and 3 E's. It's a bit heavy in E's, but he's got a nicer rack than Steve, who's kept himself with AISU and picked up WPH, which is a bit of a mishmash. So Vince has picked up a 4th E and an I, so he's got 4 E's, I and S. But it's Steve's go, and Steve's fairly quickly playing HAW, making posh U-turn and REW underneath, wastedly. Can't argue with that, it's 39 points. The top move was actually extending the TAW on the left-hand column, adding a HAIS to it, which is Mari for a beach. Right. Vince has extended the same TAW to Tawny's TAWNIES, which is about the 5th best move, but it's the highest score available with his rack. So it's very close on the closing stages here. We've got 28 point lead to Vince. Vince has picked up another E, so he's back to 4 E's, but he's also picked up an X, F, and T. So there appear to be 6 tiles in the bag, including a blank. Steve's got PIUSVRT. He's probably looking to play off about 4 tiles to keep 2 in the bag if he if he can, and will be hoping to pick up a blank. He obviously doesn't know whether Vince has got it on his rack or not, but we know he hasn't. Steve's tiles are pretty awkward, to say the least. One option is to put the S in front of Hinny to make Shinny, as we've seen previously. But as to what else he could get, something such as puts or tups, which is pretty lame. Just see if Vince has got high score in place for his X. There's a triple letter under the A of Brandy's. It won't extend both ways. There's Dex in the top right hand corner for a triple. It's going to be a close finish, especially if Steve picks up the blank. So it's a decent play. Steve's played off the V and the U, which are very awkward, making Erov, keeping TIPS, and picking three of the remaining 6 tiles, and hopefully for Steve will maybe a blank. The top move was at Virtu, VIRTU. That would have been on the second row, making GU under jail GAO. So we're waiting to see if Steve picks up the blank from 3 of the remaining 6 tiles. Doesn't get much more exciting than this. So Steve's got PITS and he's picked up. Drum roll. He's picked up COB, so he's managed to avoid the blank. Vince has got a 14-point lead. He's probably going to play EX on the top, making Dex. And he's got a pickup of 2 from the remaining 3 tiles, of which a blank is 1. So it's got 67% chance picking blank. It was the top though. Vince has picked a blank. Steve, no way will he have a bonus from Cobb Spit. And Vince has got a 44-point lead, sitting with the blank, with 1 tile in the blank. Looks like Steve has just played the B, making brew, emptying the bag and hoping for a blank, but we know it's on Vince's rack, and the last tile in the bag will be a T. No, has Vince got a bonus? He's got feet, F-E-E-T, plus E and blank. I couldn't see a bonus, and that's because there aren't any. There will be 8s available. Well, there's an 8 available through the N at the bottom of the board. And there aren't. Depending on how much time Vince has got left, he'll be studying Steve's letters if he's got his tile tracking right, and working out if Steve's got a bonus from his rack of PITSCOT, which I would say he hasn't. I don't know how long Vince has got left, but oh yes, sorry, the clock's up. Vince has got about 8 minutes left. He's going to have a good look to see if there's any bonuses, and if not, if Steve's got a bonus, and try and block that. But Steve hasn't got any 7-letter bonuses on his rack. It looks like the tournament might be catching up on lost time. I think we were 15 minutes behind schedule going into this game, and the next game is due to start at 3:30, which is 5 minutes away, and this game's obviously nearly finished. And by background noise, you can hear there's plenty of other games have finished. I can hear Steve Perry having a laugh. Whether he said I should have challenged that or not, I'm not sure. Vince has opted to play feet and oft. He hasn't seen a bonus for himself because there aren't any, or there's no 8-letters, and he probably isn't certain that Steve hasn't got a bonus, but thinks it's unlikely. But he's kept the board awkward just in case there is a bonus that he doesn't know, and Vince will be quite confident that there's no 8-letters through the N at the bottom of the board, so he hasn't touched that. The playing timetable has actually been rearranged because the tournament started 15 minutes late. So the next game is due to start at 3:40. That's 12 minutes time, and it will be between Kevin Sinnott, who I believe beat Nigel a couple of years ago in the UK Open in one game, against Rick Kennedy from Ireland, who's a expert level player. Steve's finally utilising the S-hook on Hinny for Shinny, playing topics. Quackle had pointed out to us before that it was the top scoring play, making QIS and Shinny in the same spot for Vince twice early in the game. Vince will have a rack leave of EN blank, I believe, so we'll have no problem playing out, but we'll try to eke as many points out as he can. Steve's declared 29 points for topic, and the players have agreed to 404 points for Steve's total, which matches up to what we have on what Craig has on Quackle here. So Vince has got a 6-point lead, and he's got a player with NE blank, which isn't a hard feat. So it sounds that the game's over. I'm not sure where Vince has played out his NE blank. The game must be over because they're discussing the game and whether they're going to check wastedly and see if it wasn't good, which had a big influence on the outcome of the game. Steve not challenging that. But we've all done these things, so I won't be too harsh on anybody. NE is being played at the top, above feet to play out. I can hear Vince saying to Steve that he played wastedly, expecting a challenge, and he wasn't sure of it. But the challenge didn't materialise. As you say, he took a chance. He didn't play a phony on purpose, and Steve had the opportunity to challenge it. Unfortunately for Steve, he didn't, and it was quite costly. Okay, I'll sign off for now. The next game's due in 9 minutes at 3:40. So, see you then.
I thought I could hear all these voices of people watching saying, "What are you wasting?" I'm not listening to them again. Yeah, if I'd known that took an S, I'd have played Fez. We got a lot more for it.
All right, Craig, me and Kevin on here? Okay.
Hello again. We're on Game 6 here at the UK Open. It's between Rick Kennedy from Northern Ireland and Kevin Sinner. Rick's currently on 3 wins and 2 losses in 15th place, and Kevin's just on 1 win and 4 losses at the moment. Rick's got a funny first record. He's got FUN and Oki, so he's got Fun Oki. Might be a type of karaoke, who knows. So my name's Colin Northmore, a Scrabble player from the north east of England, based in Sunderland. I'll be commentating the next 2 games, which will be 4 in total, but I've put a message on Scrabble Snippets asking for volunteers for games at 5:30, 6:39 and 10 tonight. I think 4 games is enough to commentate. I've done 4 per day. Anyway, Rick's gone first, and with his rack, he's played Funky, keeping AO. Funky was, in fact, the top play. Kevin's got a rack of GLOUTRE. It's looking doubtful that there's a bonus with these racks, especially through the F or U. And biggest chances through the N, which is still doubtful. So the worst that is on Kevin's record, G, U, and possibly L to play off. But there's doesn't look like anywhere to score well. As I suspected, there's no 7s with this rack. The only 8s would be through an A, which would be out there, and a P for a little group known as a grouplet. Rick had kept himself 2009, 2 and O, a C and an S, so that's pretty rapid. We're on Kevin's turn. 38 points in deficit, and deciding what to do with not the best strike. I don't know, it's either blocking the double lanes, the U is not dangerous, or maybe playing GU above right guy, GU above F for golf. It's a tricky decision. I don't know what people are suggesting in the chat room because I can't see, but Kevin is playing OUR, making KO, and YU with a rack leave of GLET. I think I was showing that best move was GROU until the F Grouf. Grouf apparently means the front of one's body or the face, which isn't a word I was a little bit familiar with, but we'll hope to play it soon. So Rick has a 21-point lead and an unpromising rack of CAAOOAS. Looks like he's changed form. He's just kept the A, S, and C. But he's got the opposite problem now, whereas he had 5 vowels on his racks previously, he's got 6 consonants on his rack now, including duplicate C, B, D, N, S, A. So we're back to Kevin's go, where he the small goon being a goonlet. It's a joke, by the way. So that's Kevin's rack, GOONLET. Gen 2, which is a penguin, L. The only letters playable through F or a U both seem highly improbable. We could well be seeing a playoff such as GO above the F and the U of. The only bonus would have been with a D is a gold tone, Kevin's played Goon, which is about 12th highest valuation. Why he's played it. My suggestion of Goo was about 6th. The best play suggested was Gunoff, G-O-N-O-F. So Kevin's got an 8-point deficit. It's Rick's go after changing. Rick's rack hasn't really improved. He may play something like Comb. He has. It looked a good idea. He's played it as soon as I said it. So he's played duplicate C, M, and B. Seems there was a high score available. Occams. Right, it's a bit of an unusual word, but it was from the O of Goon to a triple OCCAMS, which would have been a very nice spot and a very nice score if Rick had seen it. If Lewis Mackay was commentating, which he may well do yesterday, he probably would have spotted Occams, because apparently it's a computer programming language, which is Lewis's line of work. Lewis probably would know it because he'd know it anyway. So Kevin has a 21-point deficit. It's his go. He could do with a floating I for filament, which there isn't. The only floating vowel is a U. There's no 7s with Kevin racks. The only 8s are filament, but I said with a floating A or with a floating O, which I believed I may have played at the UK Open Series a year or two ago, in Matt Fallon. So again, Kevin's got to try and rack balance as well as he can. So playing off such as the F and the M, which are the highest scoring tiles and the least bonusy tiles. I believe Flambe should be through the B of Comb. So Kevin's still deciding on his play. I would say Flambe is my choice of play. Having a bit of a clear out of the rack, keeping N and T. I've seen that Flambe actually just take a second E, so Flambe, which is interesting for the future. The best play was Omenta, which was onto the triple again, the same place as Occam would have gone, and it would be making MM and BE in this instance. Kevin has played Flap, which is a fairly strong rack leave, MENT. It could be second best play was Flame, which was under KO and YU in the centre of the board. Kevin's taken that triple spot, SCAW score, which Craig's got quattro. It's the best play with 41 points scored. So Rick has taken a 44-point lead. Kevin had kept himself MENT, which is a decent track lead, but unfortunately he's picked up TTH. So he'll probably be looking to play through either the U of Funky or the A of Skull here, and try to play at least 2 T's and Sailor H as well, but it's not looking promising, to be honest. There's only inspiring plays like TH through the AT lat, which would divest Kevin of 2 T's but only score 9 points, which is pretty miserable. Rick's rack, on the other hand, is looking much more favourable. I don't believe there's a 7 on his rack. Through an A, there's Pally Node, and I think there's an L, not Pally Node. There is an L available, but it's tucked away.
17.
Kevin's played math for 17, so he's in the same spot I was mentioning, THAT. So he's played off his 2 heavier tiles and kept 2 T's. It seems like a decent move for me. Looks like the best play was through the U of Hutment, which is far beyond my ability, I'm afraid to say. It would appear that Rick is just 1 letter short of the bonus, such as Oedipus, which is something to do with a child's feelings. As I say, the L would be Palynode, and I believe there's an anagram of Palynode, but the L's tucked away. So Rick has played Opined, taken a triple and scoring quite reasonably, and probably as much as can be scored in that play. It is the top score for 35 points. Kevin's close to one of our favourite words, one of these 5 vowel 8 letters, uintate, Uintaite. So he'd need a floating I for that, unfortunately. The only floating I is the last letter. Has he got anything else? NTTAIUE. Something's coming down. It's just playing TAUTEN, Taunton. Oh gosh, there was a bonus Autunite or Autunite. It was through the U of Funky. Another 5 or 8 words. Not one I was. The Ortunite is ore of uranium, and it's only 6,000 probability 8, so I will try not to miss that one again. Rick's hit back straight away with Aeonian. There's Aeonian and Aeolian. One means something to do with the wind, and one doesn't. I forget which one's which, but I've played both a number of times. And it's a nice find. He's got the top play. Where he's played it is the only bonus available on this board. Kevin's struggling with a few, but that is, he's got a V, 2 I's, and an L. He's playing trivials. I believe I played this against Jeff Cooper at Middlesbrough a few weeks ago. It didn't get challenged off, but I don't believe he can pluralise trivial unless I'm thinking of a different word. No, there's no trivials. Trivial takes nothing after it. It just takes 2 letters together, L-Y, so you can have trivial the, but no trivials. I imagine it's being challenged off. As I say, I got fortunate in a game at Middlesbrough a few weeks ago that it wasn't challenged off, but it should have been. So Rick's got a 112-point lead. It's his turn. He's got a record of G-L-O-E-E-E-A, so that's 3 E's. He's fully aware of what Kevin's rack is, and will know he's got trivial the next play at best. So he may either decide to not let Kevin have that, or he may look elsewhere and try to rack balance better himself. He's got such an OGEE, which would be a decent rack balance. That could be played to the left-hand side of Flabs, vertically at the top of the board. I think my suggestion of OGE is pretty decent play. Rick's got five vowels, and it's quite awkward. He took out the 8 triple to avoid Kevin getting trivial. He's just going to be at the expense of his own rack. Whereas if he plays OG, it's going to be for about 90 points and leave LEA, so it will be balancing his rack significantly. Whether there's plays available elsewhere until the N on the bottom row. So Rick's decided to play ALEE underneath Aeonian, which is restricting things there. OGEE, my suggestion, was actually the best play according to Quackle. So Rick's got a lead of 207 to 83. We know Kevin hasn't got the most promising rack. He's got trivials minus the A, what he tried to just play just now. I wouldn't say there's great opportunities. He's got such as Virtu until he U of Funky, VIRTU. And there's another U of Taunton where Virtu's playable. Kev's decided to play a Vial. He's got the V on the triple letter, so that's 15 points. It's restricting the N on the bottom row for a bonus there, and there's a strong rack leave of RIST. The top play was Rivlin until the N on the bottom row, RIVLIN. So Rick's got roughly a 110 point lead in this pretty early stage, and he's got EGGHLOZ. What can we see with this? Rick's seen his rack much more than mine that I've had the chance, and he's played GLOZE making NEG for substantial points. 40 points. So Rick's extended his lead to approximately 150 points. Kevin sort of got a better rack than he had, but it's not quite a bonus. It's BDOTRIS. He needs a floating A for such as debitors, D-orbits, and I believe there's a third bonus with those tiles, but I can't think. Thing is, there isn't a floating E to be able to play a bonus. So there's an E 3 spaces above the bottom middle triple. There's such as a debit there, which is likely to be one of the better plays, with the board being very restricted. He could play a BOD, BOD under glows, making ZO alternatively. Kevin's opted to play a South African word, Bray, BR, through the two A's and NI. It's either a verb to grill food, or alternatively is to speak from the back of your throat. I think there are two similar words with different meanings. So Rick's got a 125 point lead, and he has got PIGHT, which is word pite, plus WI. The board's pretty bingo and friendly, and Rick will keep it that way. The only sort of solid bingo route is hooking onto the B of Bray, and Rick's wisely blocked that playing Wig, WHIG. It's about the fifth best move, but the best move was WEIGH, WEIGH, on the triple at the bottom. It could be seen as a wise move because it's blocking the only bonus lane, whereas the triple might not be that dangerous due to the double letter being taken out above it. So Rick has a 148-point lead, and we're just over halfway through the game. There's 23 tiles in the bag. Kevin has double D, double S, EOT. And as I say, the board is very limited. He may play such as DOD under glows, which he is doing. And he's playing an S after it, seeing as he's got duplicate S's, and the second S isn't of high value. It's the third best move according to Quackle. The best was just the same move but keeping the S off. So Rick's leading by 122 and has got QAT PITE. While Rick's thinking about his move, just to say the commentators are being sorted out for the next 3 games before dinner. The next game is going to be a joint commentary between myself and Natalie Zolty. Then the 5:30 game is a joint commentary between Chris Hawkins and Natalie Zolty. And the 6:30 game, Chris Hawkins is doing the commentary. So there's commentators needed for the 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock games after dinner. The next game is between Jeremy Koo, who's about number 2 or 3 seed here, and Ahmed Khan from Manchester. Ahmed's been playing competitions about 2 or 3 years, and he's did well just to win a big Cleveland Middlesbrough Christmas tournament that I was playing in at the beginning of December. So Rick's continuing to keep the board awkward, and quite rightly. So he's played his Q and A, making QUAI. Kevin's nearly got easiest, except he's got 2 I's rather than 2 E's. And his decision to play off one of his 2 S's last move is probably justified, as he's picked up a second S, so may well have been sitting with 3 S's. I predict Kevin's probably going to play a 5-letter word ending in ODS or something at the bottom. It's got the potential to give a lot back to Rick Lowe. And there's Siesta, but it's fraught with dangers. So Rick's got a commanding position here. The sort of board's not particularly dangerous, and he's Rick's got exactly twice the score that Kevin has, 296 to 148. So while Kevin's deciding on his play, just an update on the overall standings after 5 games. There's 7 players on 4 wins. Nigel Richards leads on 4-1 on spread. Nigel's lost his first game of the tournament 4-08 to 4-39 to Mick Healy. So Mick will be elated with that last result. Ed Martin second, just 5 spread points behind Martin. Behind Nigel. Then the further 4 spread points behind is Jeremy Pugh, who will be seen on stream next. Then also on 4 wins, Harshan, Lambert, Soria. Then Wayne Kelly, Austin Shin, and Vince Boyle, with Paul Allen, Teresa Brousson, and Ahmed Khan amongst others, who are 1 win behind that. And Ahmed is on commentary next game. So Kevin's played SAI, which, although it's not big points, it was one I was thinking of to get rid of duplicate S's and vowel imbalances. He's only scored, it looks like, 8 points, but he's kept himself a rack leave of EIST, which is very nice. And when he had his pickup, RE were his first 2 points, which was looking very promising, but his final letter was a J, which has let it down a little bit, but he's likely to score well next move, even though it probably will not be a bingo. He would have had such as Jedis on the triple, but Rick has just taken that spot out, playing Pixie and Ped. Pixie was in fact the second best move, with Pixie PYXIE playable to make ODE on the second bottom row the better move by about 3 points. I'd guess that Kevin's likely to play something like Gears, JEERS, and odds. He's just played the J, making JOE, and keeping a very strong bonusy rack for next go. But he's falling further behind, and the chances of Kevin winning are pretty small, to be honest now. Rick's picked up the first blank. There aren't any blanks out yet, and there's only 10 tiles in the bag, so the game's nearly over, and Rick has a commanding 188 point lead. So there's only been 1 bonus played all game so far with AE Onion. We're yet to see what Kevin's picked up. He's just played off a J, so he's got a rack leave of EISTRE plus whatever tile he's just picked up. So there must be a decent chance of a bonus either on the second bottom row or through the S on the second top row. Alright, so I'm out of turn. Kevin played off his J, so it's Rick's go again. And Rick has played Curettes with a blank for C on the S on the top, which is one of the best few plays, and also it's quite restricting playing the C as the first letter. So we'll see what Kevin's picked up after having played this is J, and the only bonus lane available now is the second bottom, ending below the OD and ZO. So it's like sort of quite restrictive ending to the word. And Kevin actually has picked up a blank, so he should be able to see a bonus here. There'll be a multitude to choose from, such as recites, making ODE and ZOS. If he gets a bit cleverer, he can have it ending in a letter below the PED, which would be an S, but that would be... It would have to be having his blank as, say, an A or an L under the Z, and an E under OD, so it's a bit tricky. With an A, the bingos are Aries or seriate, so none of those would fit under that. So Kevin's got a 221 point deficit, and there's only 2 tiles in the bag. Kevin's going to be absolutely sure of getting a bonus on the second bottom row, whether it be something simple like recites, or it's best to use the blank for a more awkward tile to not give things away. And Kevin's making his play now. It looks like he's playing his blank for a second off of Terry's, making Ode and ZOS. So Kevin should be passing the 250 point mark. Kevin's picked up the final 2 tiles of DV, and Rick with the record ORREEAI has played Aurea, which is quite a nice fit above Curettes at the top. It's the best play for a tasty 34 points. So Kevin's got a lot to play out with DV. Looks like these four places says Devil at the bottom of the board or Bid. So the gentlemen are agreeing on the scores, but it's around 430 to Rick and around 260 to Kevin, so a winning margin of 162. So I'll sign off for now, and in around 10 minutes' time, I'll be doing my final commentary of the day, a joint commentary with Natalie Zolty, and we'll be commentating Jeremy Koo against Ahmed Khan. So see you then.
No? Rivalized it? I thought rivaled. Oh. We didn't have rivals. Well, that's what I was blocking anyway.
You blocked it because you didn't want me.
I didn't want to, you knew you'd chance it again. Imagine you didn't go for it again.
Hello. Hello, Natalie. Hey, Rick Kennedy. I'll tell anyone else. Hello, Natalie. Just put 5 minutes. I can see you. Hello. Doesn't seem to be me.
Is she there?
Yeah, she's in that hotel. She's in the bar or something.
Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, Natalie.
Oh, can you hear me now?
I can now, yes. Good.
That's better. I've got my microphone muted. So
I could
what happens? Does the screen come up with like Quackle at the?
Yeah, it will all come up just when the game started.
Okay.
It's got it up now with a table on.
Oh,
Have you
I
got
can't
the
see that.
leaderboard?
No, can't see anything. All I can see is you full screen at the moment.
Oh, dear.
Let me click on. No, I can just see you full screen. So would I do that? No, just see you. One sec. Save. Don't know how to change that to get. Let me just try. I'll try messaging Craig and see.
Sounds like she's sat tricky.
You still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
See anything though, except for you. So that's a bit of a problem.
Just probably in the restaurant.
No idea how to change that. It's just full screen with you. I did it last year and didn't have this problem, so I don't know.
What can you see, Natalie?
All I can see is you full screen. So
That's bad. Can you get the where are you sat?
I'm sitting in. I'll go and go round now and get Craig.
Yeah, sure.
Can help. Won't you say?
Okay. Like this is what I can see on my screen, but on her, she's just can't see me. Just like you can.
Tell her to turn.
You can just see us on the top. There's Craig fixed because he hasn't got a camera, and then there's a one with me. You can see me moving with the light. Yeah, she's gone to see him. Yes.
What's it now?
Yes.
Oh, that wasn't there before. So how do I?
You don't see.
It's just handy. See.
Well, he's in.
So if I click between,
Yeah,
is that gonna? No, probably not actually. It's just that's fine. It's just so that we don't kind of talk over each other. It's easier if but it doesn't matter. We don't
I
have
think
to-
it's immediate.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So I just leave it like that, do I? And then it will just.
Yeah.
Okay. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here, nothing.
Right, I can see the leaderboard now. So it's
Yay.
right now. Oh, see.
Yeah, Nigel's back top. Wayne was top for a millisecond, then Ed jumped over him, and then
I'm
Harshaw
just
and Nigel have since.
looking at the other end as well. Oh dear, Ellie hasn't won a game at the other end there.
Do you know her?
Nor Stuart. No. They were all just having coffee a minute ago, so I assume they're not going to start for a while. I just saw Jeremy Coo going out of the playing room, so I guess they're ready yet. Must be running late.
Well, they started 15 minutes late the first game, and he's changed the schedule to be 10 minutes late,
Right,
which would
okay.
mean it would be starting about now rather than after.
I can just see a few people heading back towards the room, so yeah, it'll be soon, I guess. Does it come up on Quackle, or do you do it on Quackle?
Now Craig does it on Quackle.
Craig does
It
it.
comes up to the left of the screen when he does it. He does it most plays.
So I'll try not to. Do we try and sort of wait and well, whatever? Presume we don't have any chat, do we? We don't have any like stream chat.
No, we don't see screen
No.
chat.
Okay. That's,
And we don't see the racks themselves. It's based on Craig entering them,
okay.
and occasionally there may be a wrong letter in like a
All right.
like a Q instead of an O or an I instead of a T or such like.
Right. Okay, just looking for my phone in case I want to put some definition or something in a minute. I've not played Jeremy Coo. Have you played him?
So you say you have played him?
No, I haven't. Have you?
I haven't. He was at the UK Open last year, and he arrived towards the end of the warm-up last year,
Right.
and he was sat at the end of our table when I was being streamed with Gutham, and then he tried again when I was playing Eric Kinderman on stream, but Eric asked him politely to peel.
Right. Okay.
See, he's just lost to Jack, the Nigerian Jeremy.
Yes. He played a phony against me yesterday, and he just after that it all went really wrong. I'm just trying to remember what he played. Oh yes, he put down SHEE blank IE. So I was expecting him to say it was an N, and he said it was a T. With the T came off, and then after that, just couldn't get after that. Yeah.
He's been on stream once today, Jack, and he opened with Garthed, Garthed, which I was pretty sure was no good, and it obviously came off.
I've just had a message say that we can see the chat. I've got a link actually, if there is any chat. So well, I think it just basically if we go onto Twitch on another screen, I think I'll put it up and see if I'm able to keep an eye on that as well.
Yeah.
I'll just put it up. My computer's running quite slowly though. Okay, I've got that up.
I get too confused looking at too many things because I'll go on to Ziva to look for some words sometimes, but
oh no, I've got you up in the corner as well. It's all happening now. Okay.
you can talk most if you want because I've been talking for 3 games and the viewing millions will be tired of me.
Okay. I've got the board up now, and then I can see you in the corner of the screen as well. So it's all good. Did you commentate on just?
Have you seen what Craig's put on the leaderboard, Natalie?
No, hold on. Do I need
Well, when there's not photos of players, he's got his evil budgie sign next to their name.
Oh, I have seen that, yes.
It's quite cool.
I wondered what that was yesterday. I thought he was playing for it, but yeah, no, I have seen that. Sounds like this. I can hear a bit of rattling. I think they must be getting ready.
Yeah, he's doing an announcement.
Okay. Turn it off. Some feedback.
There's a delay in the
Yeah, I'll just turn it off. I've got it on my phone actually. So if any person, I've got it on my phone now with the sound off. So if any personal comments come up, I'll be able to see. But I managed to do all at once.
Seem to be around 25-ish watching on average.
Okay.
Fully warm.
Millions later, obviously. Watching it longer.
Full of warm up with single figures, really.
Really. Yeah, well, work days, I guess. People catch up on it the next.
Hubert Wee was on earlier and he was disappointed that Nigel wasn't on every game, it would appear.
Oh, right. Well, yeah. So are we ready? Are we live on it?
Yeah, go first.
Yeah. So, okay, it is game 7, I believe, and I'm Leslie Zolty. I'm actually at the venue at the moment, but situated in a different room, obviously, with players, and we've got Jeremy too, and I'm Khan in this game, and doing the commentary for you. Jeremy from Singapore, but I believe he's living in Cambridge at the moment. I don't know if that's studying work, so based at the moment. Checked his Wesper rating earlier. He was in the 1800s, I think, so fairly highly rated player, about 130, 140 in the world, something like that, I think.
There's ABSP's 191, he's third seed.
Wow, yeah.
I think he's played at Ilford a couple of times and the UK Open last year.
And then Ahmed is a relatively new player. He's been playing not even as long as we have, I don't think, has he? But maybe...
I believe about 3 years, Natalie, we were talking to him at Cleveland.
Right.
He did very well to win the Teesside Championship a few weeks ago, and £500. He won 9-1, I believe. I didn't play him in that one.
Right. And it's still stopped somebody first bracket there. A little bit heavy. UMN. Ahmed looks like he's about to retains.
I've just double checked on the receiver, but I thought it was called Neumic. Neumic. I wasn't certain of it. I know you can have pneumatic and put a P on the front of that.
Yeah, well, that's nice. I guess he's likely to see that. That's got to be the best, hasn't it?
Probably. The C on the double.
I don't know what I would do, given that I didn't know that. I saw things like mucin, but it's not a very nicely speaking IE. I'm going to get rid of one of those eyes and put
It's going to give Ahmed a playthrough for such as, I believe, Outrance is good, is it? Outrance?
There's two there, Outrance and Courant with a C.
Courant, yes.
I don't know whether...
It's very human, it's fair enough. So it's
Okay.
F-I-E. Probably Jeremy doesn't know Numic.
No. Is that giving him any other? Obviously, they say there's Courant and there's Outrance or Outrance.
Probably Outrance, so there's not a... Otherwise the E would be in a triple lane, wouldn't it? Numic was the top play.
Yeah, very good. I didn't know that.
You
And I
see,
forgot about
you
Q9.
see these players are lucky that I'm not that country this week.
Yeah.
Oh, oh.
I think Ahmed's word knowledge is really good. I don't study it in a structured way, or whether he seems to know all sorts of odd words, whether he'll know Courant and so I don't know.
I remember looking at his score pad after a game at Middlesbrough, not against me, but he opened with big eyes, which is very nice.
He knows a lot of. I get the impression he has sort of studied in probability order, so he knows.
I'm
He'll
not
know
quite
that
sure.
then, I'm sure. Is there anything with the U? With the M, there's a root man, isn't there, with the M,
All right, good one.
but that doesn't. Yeah, it's obviously not double.
I think I'd be happy with Outrance, Courant.
Outrance,
Give it a
Outrance.
triple.
I know. I'm such a risky player. I'll probably play straight into the triple. Yeah.
Lenny should have a triple against Nigel earlier on stream. Nigel gave him off over sale, not for a triple.
Here we are, our turn going down.
It's
and
been our turn down there. Fair enough.
stops quite nicely down there, doesn't it? So it's fine. Yeah.
Keeping it fairly tight on the hull besides
Yeah,
the
it's fine. Yeah. It's 70. It's only 2 points. 2 points fewer, and it's the same point.
Yeah, Courant was 2 more with a double letter E.
I would have done that probably and maybe regretted it. But... What style of? I've not seen any of Jeremy's games either. What sort of style of play have you watched many?
I can't remember from last year. I remember he played Some Wonderful Word last year, which I wrote down, but he hasn't been on stream today.
I find it difficult with the raps, not enough. But